you very much for everybody for joining us. A very warm welcome to today's webinar, How to Write a Winning TownsWeb Digitisation Grant Application. And I'm delighted to be joined by Casper Smithson, Chief Operating Officer at TownsWeb Archiving, and Paul Sugden, the Managing Director. So thanks to both of them for joining us today. Now this year, of course, TownsWeb celebrates its 20th anniversary, as well as 10 years of its digitisation grant programme. And that's awarded over £200,000 to 135 organisations, which is a fantastic contribution to this sector. And we're very grateful to TownsWeb for their ongoing continued support. But to mark this occasion, they're expanding the scheme this year. So there's going to be 10 grants, each one of £3,000. So that's fantastic news. We're very grateful to them. So in this session, Casper is going to share insights from the judges so we can have a good sense about what makes a strong application, highlight some of the pitfalls, and offer some practical tips to help you think about how to best present your application. So as advised in my email, we're recording this presentation, but we won't be recording the Q&A. So once Casper's finished his presentation, we'll go straight to a Q&A, and we'll aim to finish at around 1:30. So thanks again for joining us, and over to you, Casper.
Fantastic. Thanks, Chris. And yeah, nice to see everyone. And thanks for the opportunity to talk through with you on the digitisation grant. So just as a way of a quick introduction, as Chris mentioned, my name's Casper Smithson. I'm the Chief Operating Officer here at TownsWeb Archiving and also PastView. And we're also joined with my colleague, our Managing Director, Paul Sugden, as well, who's going to help out in some of the Q&A side of things. So just before we start, hopefully you're sort of familiar with the ARC magazine. I just wanted to have a quick plug in a way of the PastView platform that supports that application. The ability to be able to engage with the magazine content, dive into that content search as well. So that is powered by the PastView platform, which is developed by TownsWeb Archiving. So if obviously anybody would like to find out more about publishing archives or sharing archives online, do get in touch and have a chat with our team around that. So jumping straight into the grant and talking about this year, as Chris mentioned, it's a special year for TownsWeb on a couple of different fronts, so we'll touch on that in a moment. But just a quick introduction to our judges. We've expanded the judging panel this year because of the increased number of awards that we'll be awarding. So we're joined with John Chambers, Audrey Wilson, myself, and also Catherine from the Photographers Gallery. So John Chambers, as you all will know, is the Chief Exec of Archives and Records Association. Audrey, Partnerships and Engagement Manager at the Scottish Council on Archives and also a board member of the ARA. Myself from TownsWeb Archiving, and Catherine, a previous awarded applicant from the Photographers Gallery in London. So yeah, massive thanks to the judges. There's lots of work that goes in behind the scenes on the judging, as you can imagine. So just a quick thanks and a big shout out to all of those that joined myself on the panel this year. As Chris mentioned, it is a big year for TownsWeb Archiving. 2026 marks our 20 years in business, digitising collections, preserving and presenting them online. So we had to somehow get a 10 as well into the funding this year, because we're also celebrating 10 years of the digitisation grant. I've actually been with TownsWeb for 11 years, and it was Paul and previous marketing involvement that came up with the grant idea and this giving back and the process to support the sector. Funding obviously is a huge challenge that we constantly hear about. So as well as writing sources of funding guides where you can source funding, we also thought it a great idea at this time to bring in the grant, and that's evolved over the time. We've had fantastic support from many and obviously some amazing applications over the course of that 10 years. So this year it does mark a big year, and we're going for 10 £3,000 awards. So hopefully lots of opportunity for many organisations to have those collections digitised. We also run a match funding pot alongside that. So for all eligible applications, there is £1,000 match funding supported as well. So yeah, look to apply and have that opportunity there as well for all of the eligible applications. So a couple of key dates. We'll obviously share this content, and you can find this information over our website as well. But applications opened on the 22nd of April. The application process is relatively straightforward. It's an online form that you can complete and come back to, save and complete that over the course of the open period. The key date really, I guess, is the closes for applications on Friday the 5th of June, which is at 5 p.m. that we close close for applications. During that time, if you need any guidance on your application or potentially looking at costings for potentially getting an idea of what things might cost in terms of digitizing the collection, then do reach out to our team as well. They'll be more than happy to sort of guide and help you through that process whilst applications are open. The winners announcement, again, a big thanks to ARA for the support there. We announced the winners announcement at the conference. I believe it's going to be on the Thursday, the 6th of August this year, and we'll be announcing that live at the conference. And then we open up into the match funding opening the following day, and then closing again 18th of September, which I just realized also my birthday, and it's on a Friday as well, so I'm quite happy about that. So they're the key dates. We'll obviously share those with everyone, and they're on the application forms when you download and look at those timings. In terms of criteria, we try to keep the applications quite focused on specific materials. It obviously helps with our team and our ability and workflows there. So really, we're looking at paper-based archives predominantly, as well as archive and photographic collections. So your typical sort of diaries, minute books, bound materials to manuscripts, newspapers, or your scrapbooks, photograph albums.
No, don't worry, be sure.
I don't have any.
No, please don't worry. It's not.
Thank you.
It won't bother.
Oh, there we go. And in terms of other kind of content that we work on is archive collections, so your sort of standard reports, letters, parchments, and also then all of your photographic collections as well, from things like your glass plates, negatives, photographs, slides, and transparencies. We also look at part of the funding being able to be used for sort of file naming, transcription, metadata, OCRing, that side of things as well. So long as there is a digitization element, you can also then utilize the funding for potential transcription of those diaries or minute books, OCR and other sort of character recognition from there as well. So a whole sort of different array of formats that you can submit through the digitization process. As well as that, who can apply? I guess so. We're pretty open to most organisations, obviously based in the UK, Channel Islands, and other sort of areas that are listed here. We don't accept applications from private individuals. However, if there is a private collection that potentially the archive or organisation hold, then we would accept applications on behalf of that private individual through an archive or through an institution. And as we list here, pretty much open to all sort of heritage, GLAM sector, public to private charities, business corporates, public, private libraries, and all sort of institutions, memberships, and other institutions from there as well. So yeah, quite a wide breadth of organisations that we subsequently receive those applications from. If you've got any questions around this, please do reach out to the team, and we can support you with that in terms of knowing whether your application criteria is met there. And also we do sort of have some excellent awards in the past from sort of collaborations and group bids where they're sort of utilizing collections from multiple sources where they bring a project together, which is always really interesting to hear about. There's four main judging criterias within the grant application. These are based on heritage need, social and community impact, research value, and then improved accessibility. So improved accessibility we added in the last couple of years, really looking for how you're going to utilize those collections, how you can make those available, and how you can obviously share those stories that you're preserving and digitizing through the TownsWeb grant. So we'll come on to just discuss a few of those sort of top tips of being able to improve chances, and top tips from some of the judges around this as well. So without sort of reading through these individually, there's a few key pieces of information that we recommend. So one of which is have a look through the grant application. You're probably all way more familiar with grant applications than I personally am. Yeah, just have a quick review through it. It's quite a simple process from our side from the application completion process. I think it's a couple of pages. It's obviously got those four criteria, so we hope it doesn't take a huge amount of time. We're trying to keep that time allocation down so that you can get that application in. Obviously here, looking quite clearly on what it is you're trying to achieve through this grant. So what are the collections, how you're looking to preserve and present that information, how you're looking to improve that accessibility, whether it's publicly or maybe it's an internal thing that will increase efficiencies and staff ability from there. We'd absolutely love to know about how you plan to use that content following the digitization, how you look to publish the content, what you look to do with that, whether there's opportunities for exhibitions or utilizing that content thereafter from the Digitization Award. So absolutely, we love to hear the stories behind the collections and then what you're looking to do with that and how you're looking to share that information following the digitization from the award. As I say, please don't put too much pressure on yourselves. Hopefully we've given a great window of opportunity to get the application forward. Again, reach out if you've got any questions around eligibility or anything on that side of things. Always having another colleague looking over the application, checking from that side. But I think really one of the key things that we've heard previously from some of the judges is really getting into not assuming that we know about the collection, and also jumping into it and sort of sharing what those stories are, and obviously then how you're going to sort of curate that story going forward and what you'll do with that, the digitized images and content from there. In terms of sort of standing out, grab our attention, consider sort of ready to sort of review your application. I know all the judges sort of thoroughly enjoy reading the applications, and certainly there's so many great applications to obviously score and select from at that point. So please do put in the information, talk about the collection that you're looking to have funded and what the story is going forward with those collections. And just sort of finally on those, so in terms of the sort of next steps on this side of things, as well, is as I mentioned, the sort of collaboration across different organisations is fully sort of promoted here. So if you're looking at, if you've got other collections that sort of link nicely with other institutions, do feel like you can sort of collaborate with them on an application, and also do remember that the closing date is the 5th of June at 5 p.m. So again, as I say, we'll share this information and put this out to you via a blog as well, so that you can have a look through some of the judges' top tips on that side of things. Just to give a little bit of a recap on some of the last year's winners. So we had 3 awards last year. The first was the University of Essex, a particular collection that's being digitized, and it comprised of many field notebooks and sort of maps and plans and other information relating to the author, the Peregrine. And there was sort of over 300 items that were digitized and shortly being made accessible. One of the others was the Fusilier Museum in Bury, looking at VE Day and the sort of memory around the Lancashire Fusiliers. And again, that's currently being digitized, and the process of that to make the content searchable and discoverable through OCR and other mechanisms to create that collection to be published. And then finally, the Glyndebourne Archive, which is a really fascinating and interesting collection that we've sort of worked on around a lot of documents and information on the play, the playwright and opera of this collection, and something that we're currently digitizing and going through the process to make this collection searchable and keyword searchable from there. So hopefully these work. There's a couple of QR codes here where you can get some more information on the application form, and also all of our information that we've just discussed through today is also shared through our newsletter. So do sign up to the newsletter where you can receive all of the sort of deadline reminders and other top tips and information that we'll share via those channels. But on the left-hand side here, you can download the application. It is an online form. We do supply a hard copy if you need. So let us know if you run into any issues with the online form, but hopefully that makes the process a lot more simplistic. You can save and come back to that. It's just connected with your email address. So you can log into that process and submit onto there. And I'll just leave this slide up for a few more moments, but I think my next slide is into the Q&A and whether there's any questions around the digitisation grant or current projects that we're working on. But yeah, many thanks for allowing us to talk through this with you, and we very much look forward to receiving the application. So I'm just going to go back a slide as well, so that anyone that's missed it, they can grab that application form there. But